Hello everyone, welcome back to Genshin Impact. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm very excited because we're moving on with the plot. I am in Caravan Rabat and we're going to be starting on the next Archon quest, which is to travel to Fontaine.
Have you ever kept goldfish as pets? They're big.
Shush. Yeah, we're going to go to Fontaine. So we're moving on to the Prelude of Blancheur and Nourkio. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce those. Chapter 4, Act 1. We've just finished the Sumeru Archon quest and all that sort of stuff. We're kind of speed running it a little bit, but I just want to get caught up with the main plot so that new events, new areas, I feel like I can go straight to when they come out.
Oh, Caravan Rabat! Now let Paimon think. What were we up to the first time we came here? Oh, Paimon remembers! Nahita's consciousness had been trapped by the doctor, but we followed the clues she left behind to help her.
Good memory, Paimon. It has been literally days since we did that. I guess we may have stumbled upon this place at some point before.
So much time has already passed since then. And it seems Sumeru's changing for the better now that Nahita's in charge, right?
Yeah, that's good to know.
Paimon just hopes this peace will last a long time. And then Nahita won't have any more new problems to deal with.
Yes, but as long as we're around, it's hard to say what will happen.
Yeah, guess you're right. We somehow always find ourselves right in the thick of it. Who knows what will happen next? Come to think of it, maybe it's all because of you. Maybe you're just a magnet for trouble.
Yeah, that is entirely possible, Paimon. I was just thinking that you might be the problem, Paimon.
Me? Before Paimon ran into you, Paimon never ran into any trouble. At most, when she was super tired, Paimon got caught in some strange whirlpool and sucked out into sea. And even then, you fished Paimon out! Anyway, for Nahita's sake, maybe we should think about heading to our next destination for now.
Alright, yeah, next up, Fontaine. Yeah, alright, let's continue on our journey.
Ah, look who it is. Running into you in a place like this? I can see you two still love wandering around.
Absolutely, we love wanderers.
Oh, it's Dia! Since when are we just wandering around? We're usually taking care of some serious business. Even though it may have nothing to do with our journey.
That is very true. We have this goal in mind, and yeah, we just keep getting dragged into everybody else's problems. Guess we're just that helpful, you know?
But never mind that. What brings you here?
I just finished a commission in the desert for a usual client of mine. Nothing too interesting. Just escorting a shipment of goods. I'm on my way to report back. That's when I saw you two all the way over there, chatting away. What were you two talking about, anyway?
We're preparing to leave Sumeru and head to Fontaine.
Huh? You serious? Can't say I saw that coming. But you are travelers after all. I guess you'd never stay for too long in one place. Bumping into you like this will become a rarity. I'm starting to feel sad just thinking about it.
Oh, don't worry, we still have so much to do in Sumeru. We've barely done anything here at all. Did the Archon quest and the Interlude quest, and that's about all I've done. And now we're moving on. So yeah, so I do want to... I want to get the main plot done, just so that when new events come out, I can just go straight into them without worry about spoilers. But once that's done, I will then be going back, probably back to Mondstadt, to Liyue, and to Sumeru, just to be more thorough and just clear up all the bits I've done or that I've missed. That's the plan anyway.
Hey, how about I gather a few mercs to escort you two? What do you say?
Thanks, but no need. Oh, Paimon had no clue you'd miss us so much. But don't worry, we'll come back to see everyone when we get a chance.
Sounds good. All you need to do to get to Fontaine is cross this stretch of desert and navigate some waterways. Knowing you two, I'm sure it won't be anything you can't handle. So, when are you leaving?
Well, just as soon as we've finished a few preparations. Journey should be spontaneous. I like that one.
Wait a sec. Paimon just remembered there are still a few dishes in Sumeru that Paimon hasn't tried yet. Now, where's that list Paimon made?
Paimon, there's lots of things we haven't done yet. We'll get back to it, don't worry. Who is this? He's from Fontaine. I recognise the hat.
I see.
But the style of dress.
Guess you won't be needing a going-away party or anything. It's sad enough to see you go like this. Though, now that I think about it, Sumeru wouldn't be what it is today without you. Seems true heroes always prefer leaving quietly.
You know, so the way that I'm doing it here, I do feel like I'm not getting the full experience. I guess, you know, as I still call myself a new player, but I've been playing a while now. But compared to most people who started from the beginning, I'm still a new player. You know, you would have played it where things would have come out slowly, so you'd have like gone into, perhaps when Liyue came out, I don't know what areas were there when the game first came out, but say when Samira came out, you would then got into it, you'd have spent a long time in Samira doing, you know, all the Archon quests and then all the world quests and really getting to know the area before Fontaine even came out, so you wouldn't have like rushed through like I'm doing to get to the next area. So I feel like I don't really know these areas so well. But it's all good, you know. I just want to get caught up, and then I can really get stuck into the world.
By the way, should we go say bye to Nahida?
In her case, she'll know from our dreams anyway.
Oh, good point. Then there's no need to bother her in the real world.
Then, I guess this is goodbye for now, Traveler in Paimon. Whether as a client or a friend, you're always welcome to come find me.
Take care. Bye, Dea.
Goodbye, Dia. Bye-bye, Sumeru.
Yes, if I'd spent a lot longer in Sumeru, this would have been a lot more impactful, I think. After settling matters in Sumeru, you approach the border with Fontaine. I'm excited about being in Fontaine, like, properly. I mean, I have been there before, but I kind of avoided as much as possible. Yeah, here we are. Look at this. We're in Fontaine, so we need to go down there. I mean, to be honest with you, where exactly are we? You want to go here? I mean, like, I could skip over to... I have done that already. I'm going to do it. Let's save me gliding over. And then we still obviously need to go there. Oh, I don't want to do that. That was the wrong thing. I wanted that. Right, we want to go this way. Let's do I want to call a lift? I'm assuming I want to go down. Let me try and find out where I'm supposed to be going. Okay, either this is the world's longest elevator shaft or something is not going right. That's not coming. Right, let's... Oh, it's here! That did take a long time. Okay, head to the lower level. Yes, that's what we want to do. That took forever to actually get up here. I was going to jump off the ends, but... Oh, I'm really excited, actually. Good. I'm really excited to be back in Fontaine. As I say, I came here when there was that the event to get the free Bennett, and I came into the quest needed to get Bennett, and that was about all I did. Here we go.
After crossing all that sand and water, we finally made it! Oh, this must be Fontaine's port! Wow! Everything looks so advanced in Fontaine! Paimon's heard that the industry here is extremely developed, and there are all kinds of unusual machines!
So I heard, and it's about what I imagined. It's even more impressive than I expected.
Just seeing the sights as a tourist is nice, but maybe it would be better if we found something to do. What do you think?
Sounds good to me. Let's start by meeting the Hydro Archon.
Good idea! Nahida gave us loads of useful information. Seeking out the Seven is probably still our best source for information at this point.
Our journey is to find my sibling, and also find the truth.
Yeah! The more we can learn, the better. So, what do you think the Hydro Archon's like? Will we get along? Nahida said that she has a very unique personality, whatever that means. To learn about a nation's god, start with the nation's people. There seems to be some locals talking over there. Let's go see if we can join the party.
Alright, let's do that then.
If you ask me, it's a tragedy how things ended for him. Clearly, he was a pretty decent person.
Yeah, I didn't expect that kind of ending for him. I thought he would at least fight on a little longer for his family. I was expecting a sudden plot twist, but it's a pity that it never happened. Still, his story is quite the tearjerker.
Excuse me. Can I help you too? I couldn't help but notice you standing here listening.
Yeah. Can you imagine just like walking up and just standing next to some strangers? Oh, hang on. Look at this. I recognise that person.
Hi. We're travelers new to Fontaine, and we had something we wanted to ask, but you seem to be really busy talking about some kind of play, so we didn't want to interrupt.
Play? Oh, no. We're talking about something that really happened. In fact, it's a case that was just heard a few days ago.
Really? Like, a real trial? But the way you were talking about it and the words you used just now made it sound like some kind of story.
Well, good tales are often based on true stories, aren't they? And what you see in reality may also be someone deliberately putting on an act while harboring ulterior motives. Whether something is true or not simply isn't that important. The main thing is whether the story being acted out on the stage is splendid enough.
I don't think I quite agree with that one. Whether something's true or not is pretty important, I feel. But never mind.
Oh, but it looks like you're not from around here. You probably don't know that the Fontaine Court of Justice is called the Opera Epiclese, or more commonly known as just the Opera House.
So this trials is a sort of opera.
But, shouldn't court cases be treated a little more seriously than that? Not to question Fontaine's way of doing things. It's just that putting someone on trial is usually a very serious thing.
No worries. Other visitors to Fontaine have wondered the same thing. You could say that we just don't want to waste the moving stories behind those cases.
Okay, so my initial thoughts to this is I'm not too keen on that way of thinking. That seems quite... I don't really know how to describe that. Quite impersonal, quite... treating someone's life as entertainment. Oh, no, that kind of sends me the wrong way, I think.
And as for your worries about whether the cases are treated with due reverence, we have the absolutely just and honorable Chief Justice Neuvillette.
I'm looking forward to meeting him.
As well as the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal, a machine created by the Archon. Between the machine and the Chief Justice, false charges and injustice are a thing of the past now.
I'm not looking forward to trying to pronounce some of these names. Oh well. A judgment device created by the Archon. So, this is the Nation of Justice.
Oratrice? Is it some kind of machine too? Oh, Paimon's curious. We should check it out if we get the chance. Wait, Paimon almost forgot to ask you our question. Do you know what we should do if we want to meet the Hydro Archon?
Oh, that's easy. Just go to the Opera House. Lady Farina practically lives there. You could definitely say it's her biggest passion.
I think what they mean is that they wish to speak with the Archon personally. In that case, I am afraid it's going to be a tad more difficult. You'll have to make an appointment well in advance, and it'll depend on whether or not she has any time slots available.
Make an appointment? Time slots?
Huh. Is the Hydro Archon super busy taking care of official stuff? Wait, didn't you say that she's always at the Opera House?
No. Lady Farina seldom takes an interest with the nation's affairs. The reason it's difficult to make an appointment is simply because she's incredibly popular.
That's right. After all, she is the Archon. Though she may tend to get a little dramatic from time to time, people can't get enough of her.
Huh. First time Paimon's ever heard of an Archon being described that way before. Wait! Paimon gets now! The Hydro Archon is kinda like a big celebrity here, right?
Yeah, I suppose you could say that. Perhaps you could even say our mascot.
Hang on. This is still Fontaine's Archon you're talking about. You should show some more respect.
Yes, you're right. I guess I should at least try to be a little more respectful in front of visitors. Otherwise, I might get arrested and find myself face to face with Monsieur Neuvillette.
Come on. Sure, there's a lot of laws here, but nobody's going to be arrested for saying something disrespectful about the Hydro Archon.
Seems people of Fontaine really like the Hydro Archon, but they don't appear to revere her.
Alright, I think we get it. Thank you! At least we now know that we can find the Hydro Archon at the Opera House. But who knows how long making an appointment will take? Guess we could have a look around the city in the meantime. Hey, what are you looking over there for?
There's a girl over there. She's been standing alone for quite some time.
Huh. Maybe something's the matter. She isn't going to jump into the water, is she? Maybe we better go check on her.
He started the new quest. It's fantastic. Right, okay, let's go and check on this is Linne, right?
Hello there. Excuse me. Are you alright?
Huh? Ah, I'm fine. Thanks.
Oh, okay then. We just noticed that you seem to be worried about something.
About many things, actually. But there's nothing I can do but just keep my troubles to myself. I was just reminiscing about a place my brother and I would play when we were kids. It was just atop that hill over there. See?
You're pointing at the sea. Wait, are you saying that you and your brother lived in the water?
Maybe they're mermaids. What a fantastical race from Fontaine.
No people call the waters around Fontaine a sea. It's actually just an inland lake that's filled with fresh water. And though I can still see that hill clearly in my memories, now it's been completely submerged. He would skip and jump, tossing sand in the wind. The sun shone brightly, and the air was filled with the scent of the sea. But now, the water is gradually swallowing our memories. It won't be long before it swallows us.
Sorry. Paimon doesn't really get what you mean.
So Fontaine's slowly sinking, right? I think that's what I've heard.
Ah, I don't believe we've had the pleasure of meeting. Are you Lynette's new friends?
Or maybe the water's rising. And this is, I forget his name.
And you are?
Thanks for looking after my sister. She often comes here to reminisce about our childhood, that's all. There's no need for any concern. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Linny, and this is my sister Lynette.
Yeah, Linny
If I
Lynette.
had to guess, I'd say you must be travelers from abroad.
Nice to meet you. Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler. We just arrived in Fontaine. We were just talking with your sister. Even though we didn't really get what she was saying.
I see. It's unusual for Lynette to be so willing to talk with anyone. In fact, she seldom speaks at all. I'm usually the only one she ever talks to.
Oh, really? Then you two are just like us. Paimon's always the one talking for some reason.
Oh, yeah. Really? Some reason. There's hardly anything left for me to say with you around, Paimon. Because you always steal my lines.
So that's how you think it is?
Well, it is pretty
I
true, isn't it?
also think my brother can be too talkative at times.
Seems you were right, Paimon. We are quite similar.
So, what did Lynette mean just now when she said that the water is engulfing your memories? And that it won't be long before it engulfs you too?
Oh, that. It's from a prophecy that's been circulating in Fontaine for some time now. Well, I suppose prophecy isn't exactly the right word, because that implies a certain amount of uncertainty. There's no doubt about what's happening in Fontaine now.
Oh, what's happening in Fontaine?
Where to begin? Let's put that question on hold for a moment. We still haven't formally greeted each other yet, have we?
Did all the introductions earlier not count?
Hello, traveler.
Hello, Linny. It's a pleasure to meet you.
And hello, Paimon.
Hey! Why didn't Paimon get a handshake? You're not poking fun at Paimon, are you?
Please, don't take offense. Just consider it a sort of etiquette we have here in Fontaine when making new friends. You should remember it. It might prove useful.
Okay.
Alright then. Well, Paimon's just happy to have a local friend now.
No, this guy seems a little bit, creepy's not the right word, but it's a little odd.
By the way, we were just getting ready to go to the Opera House to meet the Hydro Archon. Would you be able to show us the way?
So you're going to see Lady Farina? No problem at all. In fact, I was planning to go to the Opera House later myself. I'll gladly take you once I finish things here. Please, follow me.
Okay, well, I'll follow them then. I always forget how to switch to walking, but...
You said you were going to see Lady Farina? Well, it seems Lady Farina has come to see you.
Oh, that's handy. There she is.
So, she's the Hydro Archon? But how did she know we were looking for her?
My dear people, rich and poor, those with cup in hand and those with nothing at all, raise your glasses in celebration! If you don't have one, then just raise your hand in lieu.
Very dramatic.
As you can all see, two unfamiliar travelers have arrived in our nation. Come, let us make a toast in honor of this traveler and her companion, who have journeyed here from distant lands.
Okay, that make you feel very uncomfortable to be suddenly the focus of everyone's attention.
Is she talking about us?
It seems so, Paimon. Nobody here seems to be holding a glass.
I've long heard of the turmoil and chaos you've left in your wake as you visited other nations. But I welcome you nevertheless. No, I have come to receive you personally.
That's actually a really good point, because you imagine being the leader of a nation and you have these travellers going through just causing, I mean, chaos. I don't know, what do you call it, chaos? We're fixing things. We're making things better as we leave. I wouldn't say we're leaving chaos in our wake, but we're leaving something in our wake, I guess.
Fear is for insignificant cowards. I am a god, and I will never entertain the notion of such meaningless wariness. You can be rest assured, I see clearly your sincerity. Of course, seeking an audience with me is the most sensible thing to do. It will allow you to truly behold my power and witness my authority. Intelligent people always gather under the correct banner. I, Focalor, hereby welcome you to the nation of Hydro and acknowledge the value and significance of your trip. Now, you may rejoice in this.
Well, finding the Archon is easy enough.
Yeah, Paimon still can't believe it. Feels like we've only been here for a few minutes.
Just because we have.
But the Hydro Archon's entrance was, how should Paimon describe it? A little over the top?
I feel that's how she rolls.
Miss Hydro Archon? How did you know we were coming?
Ah, I see. As Outlanders, you inevitably lack even some of the most basic understanding. Don't forget that even the gods can be divided into the mediocre and the excellent. I suppose it's only natural for you to be awestruck by my abilities.
Okay. She's very confident.
You had best stop and consider. Do you really have the noble qualities and etiquette necessary to communicate with a god? All it takes is a flick of my finger for me to know everything about you.
Or did this guy just tell you? That could be it. He was the guy who heard that we were coming and then disappeared. I wonder if this is all just like a front. She like puts on this show of being this incredible, powerful god in front of the people, but behind the scenes she could be quite timid, quite doubtful of her abilities maybe.
Whoa.
I'm sure we'll find out.
Sounding high and mighty.
Yeah, feels like she can't get over herself.
Oh? What's with these looks? Perhaps the welcoming ceremony still isn't enough? What else should I say then?
Is she waiting for us to start talking?
Wow, I didn't expect to see Lady Farina here. What a surprise! Wait, does this mean they're the legendary blonde traveler? How did I not notice before?
Hey, what's all the commotion? Oh, is that Lady Farina? Is there some kind of drama going on?
Of course. That's the blonde traveler. The one all those stories are about. Lady Farina came here to personally see her. Oh, I bet this is going to be the duel of the century.
Oh, hold on.
Ooh, I've got to see this. I knew Lady Farina would never disappoint.
She's going to challenge us to a duel.
Yes, but don't get too excited now. My dear believers and spectators alike tend to get quite rowdy, and despite the noise, I've come to tolerate all their ruckus. You may consider this my reward to all of you. I have determined that there will be an epic duel between myself and this traveler from another land, just as you were hoping to see.
Now she wants to fight? Aren't we getting a little ahead of ourselves?
Bring it on, fighting gods. I've got the resume. Who's this, though? Everyone's very interested.
Are you not afraid? Might I remind you that this is a duel against the divine?
Yeah, we've done it before.
What are you trying to do, traveler?
Oh,
Provoking a god in front of her people?
okay. She is the new character coming soon, right? I think we've just had her announced.
Stand down, Clorend. I
Clorend.
admire her bravery. Few have the courage to draw their sword against a god. She is obviously a true warrior. Unfortunately, people nowadays only crave to be thrilled, and a mere duel will not slake their thirst for excitement.
Huh. Yeah, she's right. Just a duel wouldn't be all that interesting.
On Arrhenius, criminals are always requesting duels to defend their honor. They're getting a bit old, to tell the truth.
Okay.
You see. Then, as the god of justice, I shall face this traveler in another kind of duel. A duel in court!
Whoa, all right. Now that'll be worth seeing.
So there, I think if I had the choice, I'd probably go with the first one.
Right. This is Fontaine, after all. It's such a grand opera house, it would be a pity not to use it.
Why do you care so much about the crowd's reactions? Seems you've spent a little too much time in the opera house. Besides, how exactly do you plan to have a duel in court? You mean you're going to put us on trial?
We haven't committed any crimes. We've literally just arrived here.
Oh, we have reason to put you on trial. It's obvious, isn't it?
Obvious?
According to Fontaine law, no one is permitted to release any flying objects within Fontaine city limits during the first 3 days of each month. You are clearly guilty of violating this law, no?
Oh, so that's what they've done wrong. That's our Lady Farina. No one knows the laws of Fontaine like she does.
Really? Are these all real laws, or does she just make them up when they suit her?
You call that obvious? What kind of law is that? Wait, flying object? You mean Paimon?
Yeah, I'd argue she's not an object.
Precisely! Now, if you two have no objections, then Then, in the name of the Hydro Archon, I order your arrest.
My apologies, Lady Farina. I don't mean to spoil the fun. But if you would allow me to interject, I don't think that Paimon here meets the definition of a flying object.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
You tell her, Linny! Finally someone who's not crazy. How could anyone call Paimon a flying object?
Ah, great magician Linny, my beloved citizen. I'll permit you to object, but how exactly do you plan to prove your claim?
As a magician who just rained on your parade, I naturally should shoulder the responsibility of saving the show. So, with such an audience gathered here, allow me to perform a trick for everyone.
Okay, what is he doing?
Ta-da! What's that on Paimon's back? Hey, when did Linny do that?
When he patted you on the back. That's what he did. Okay, we're getting a flashback of something that happened like literally about a minute ago. Great.
There.
I needed that
As
reminder.
you can all clearly see, Paimon should be classified as, well, something like a balloon. This rope has been in the Traveler's hand all along. It was just that no one could see it before.
Huh? You call that magic? You've got to be joking.
I thought it was pretty good. Nice one.
Huh. I'm not sure what to think. It seems Lady Farina's charges no longer hold water.
Okay, that's not the defense I would have put forward, but
Amusing. Very amusing, Linny. Just the sort of unexpected twist that I enjoy. With you here, today's performance can finally be called complete.
Performance? You see all this as a performance?
In which case, consider the matter of your trial resolved. The god of justice will not bring charges against an innocent person. But when there are valid grounds, I will not only judge travelers from abroad, but even the gods of other lands. I look forward to seeing your upcoming performance at the Opera House, Mr. Linny and Miss Lynette. That's enough for now. Toodaloo!
okay. Wow, that was an introduction.
And just like that, she's gone. Well, that's the most unpredictable Archon Paimon's ever seen. He never even had a chance to ask her anything. But that's a problem for future Paimon. That whole scene just now was really...
Well, thanks for bailing us out, Linny. Do you know that was going to happen?
Don't mention it. I just happened to remember that there was such a law, so I did a little preparation, just in case. I didn't think it would actually come in handy. So, now do you see what kind of god Lady Farina is?
That's like the unbalanced one.
She can be a bit confusing at times, but she is still amenable to reason.
Yeah, confusing is a good way to put it. Is she really that reasonable?
Anyway, Paimon had no idea you were a magician, Linny. It sounded like you'll be performing at the Opera House, right?
I just know a few simple tricks I use to make a living. Lynette is my assistant. It will actually be my first time performing on the most prestigious stage in Fontaine, the Opera House.
But isn't the Opera House where criminal trials are held in Fontaine?
When there are no public trials being held, the Opera House hosts a variety of other performances. To the people of Fontaine, the line between a trial and a performance can be a little blurred. And speaking of performances, I would be remiss to forego this opportunity gifted by fate. Might I invite the two of you to see my performance?
Absolutely.
My brother's always excited to make new friends.
Oh, sure. We don't really have anything to do now, and we wanted to go to the Opera House anyway.
Yeah, I would be delighted.
Splendid. In that case, why don't we go together? I'll show you the way. I just have something to take care of first.
Is there any way I can help?
You really mean it? Then I'll take you up on your offer. This is a magical item known as a magic pocket. Perhaps you can help me distribute them to the people here.
Okay.
Huh? What are they going to use it for?
About that... You asked me before about the prophecy, right? Let me start by telling you a little more about what it entails. I'm not sure exactly when it began, but a prophecy has been circulating around Fontaine. It says that every person in Fontaine is born with sin. No matter how the nation of justice holds trial after trial, this sin cannot be absolved.
Again, this is being born with sin is a concept I very much am opposed to.
Until one day, the water levels in Fontaine will rise, and the sinful people will slowly be drowned.
Ugh.
In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain, weeping on her throne. Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
Sounds a little unfair if you ask me.
That sounds pretty gloomy. Why are people in Fontaine born with sin? What is that supposed to mean?
There are lots of guesses. Some say that the ancestors of Fontaine stole the power of the seas and stirred its wrath. Others say that the people of Fontaine never heeded the first Hydro Archon's warnings and offended Celestia. But here in Fontaine, evidence is what matters. There hasn't been concrete evidence for any of these claims, so they can only be regarded as conjecture.
If even the people in Fontaine don't know what sin they committed, wouldn't it be better just to ignore the prophecy completely? Why bother feeling guilty all the time?
Very good point, Pyman. A rare time, and she actually speaks a lot of sense there.
That's exactly what the people did at first. But in the last few years, the water levels in Fontaine have actually started rising.
Okay, so it's the water's rising, not Fontaine that's sinking. Okay. But now the water is engulfing our memories. It won't be long before it engulfs us.
Many places have already been completely submerged, and now lie beneath the sea.
Many people carry on with their lives as before and shrug it off as a natural phenomenon. But my family and I think that the people of Fontaine shouldn't ignore the possibility, which would end up sentencing them to death.
Well, there's some real-world parallels there, I think.
We hope that at least the people who reside near the waterfront can move away before it's too late. So, we've started distributing magic pockets to them.
Sell the houses to who, Ben? I don't know if anybody gets that reference, but yeah.
As a magical item, these magic pockets have astonishing capacity. I'm sure they will come in handy when people are moving their belongings.
Oh, Paimon gets it! It's like preparing for a rainy day! But this is more than a bit of rain.
If the prophecy is true, then is there no way to prevent the disaster?
Perhaps only absolute power could ever contend with such a catastrophe. But who knows? We're just tiny specks in the grand scheme of things. Now, if you'd like to help, then please give these magic pockets to anyone nearby. Be sure to convince them to take it, regardless of what they say.
Okay. Well, I think that's a good point to leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. This is going to be fantastic, finding out what's going on Fontaine. Now, what an introduction to Farina. That was incredible. Oh, this is going to be so much fun. I can't wait. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.